So you're Brady?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shelby.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So the purpose of this job interview is just so we can kind of get to know you. We do have a current job we're looking for, so we're just kind of want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
So tell me about yourself.
So I am currently a student at Utah Valley University. I'm studying accounting as well as business management and marketing. I am personally passionate about guns and the outdoors and hunting and stuff like that. I am working for a hearing protection company where I've gained a lot of experience in working hard and marketing skills as well as sales. I've worked a job since I was 15 and bouncing around to different jobs and gaining all kinds of experience.
Okay, that's awesome. Guns, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so tell me about a time you showed initiative where it prompted you to get started and what were the results?
When I was working in shipping for this company, we had a pretty big order come through of all these different kinds of hearing protection products. And it was funny because my supervisor, or I wouldn't say my supervisor, but he was a more experienced employee than me, didn't necessarily want to do it quite yet. He would keep pushing it off because it had a date that was passed. But my personality is I'd rather just get the big thing done first. And so I pushed him to get that done. So we took a whole day and just worked on it and got it out that day instead of pushing it to the last minute.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What was the most useful criticism you've ever received from an immediate supervisor? How did you embrace this feedback and achieve a positive outcome?
Yeah. When it was my first job, I was a lifeguard, and my supervisor told me to not be average. And I asked him about it later, and he said, I don't want any of you to be mediocre. I want you to be hardworking employees that make a difference. And I guess that kind of helped me because as a teenager, it was easy to maybe slack off or get tired, whatever excuses. But when I received that, I made it clear in my mind that I was always going to work hard at whatever I did.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. What do you feel you have to offer above the average employee when it comes to accomplishing your daily responsibilities and goals? Can you share a specific example?
Yeah, I have a hard work ethic, and which you guys probably hear a lot. But I also bring optimism to the game, and I'm always trying to find the best alternative and the best option and keeping a good attitude about it. When I was a lifeguard, there were times where people would get hurt, and some lifeguards that I was working with would get scared. I, with my personality, would come in and was able to calm everybody down. I was able to calm the lifeguard down and calm the person down, and then I was able to help them out. And I was able to make jokes with that person and get them to laugh, even though they had a broken finger or whatever it was.
Wow, that's really cool. That's like a really good talent. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's something that's not very special.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Describe a time when you elevated the level of value you brought to a customer over time. How did you accomplish this?
When I was in shipping, there were times that I had to deal with customers. But I've learned this more now as I am currently marketing and sales. We often have customers come to me asking like, why are there problems with this or that, or they want to talk to somebody and they're a little mad. But as I've talked to them professionally and calmly, I have been able to calm them down, help them out, and leave them feeling satisfied.
Okay. Can you recall a time when you were less than pleased with your performance? What did you do about it?
When I was car detailing, there were times where my coworker wanted to skip a few things, or he would move past little details like we didn't spray the engine bay down or scrub the wheels like we normally do. And at first, when I was working there and I was learning the ropes, I would just kind of let it slide because I was like the new guy, and so I knew it wouldn't be my fault. But as I started working there more, I realized that that's not the best thing to do, and so I went back and talked to this coworker and said, "Hey, we need to do better at doing this," and we actually went through and created a list to make sure we get everything done.
Okay.
So.
Wow. That's good. Describe your level of competitiveness. Tell me a specific situation when your competitiveness helped you achieve better results than your peers.
A big part of my personality is being competitive, especially with like sports and such. But for work, when I was a lifeguard, there were times where we would all be on break and one of our supervisors would come in and ask us to do a certain task, like go clean up this or go clean up that. And I was actually working for a raise. They were all telling us that one of us would probably get a raise soon. And so I would always be no matter how tired I was, I'd always jump up and say, I got it. I remember my friend, it bugged him so bad that I would do it every time because he wanted that raise too. But I was always the quickest to jump on those tasks. And I eventually got the raise, so.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Think of an example when one of your customers was not pleased with something you or your team did. What was the situation and how did you recover?
So I deal with live chat customers right now. A customer started writing to me and said how angry he was going to sue the company for not giving a product that was advertised. I basically was talking to him and found out that he was working with some of our other employees through customer service and that they weren't helping him as he wanted. But as I was giving him information about the product and trying to help him out and promising to take my own personal time to talk with him and help him, he therefore was happy. He felt good and was calmed down, and we were able to work it all out. So.
That's awesome. Give me an example of a time when you successfully persuaded your peers to change their minds and follow your recommendations. What was the specific situation and result?
So the one that I immediately think of is the car detailing one again, where we kind of like skipped some stuff, but we went back through. I talked to him, pulled him aside, and said, "Hey, we should probably do this better." He at first wasn't too happy about it, but he knew it was the right thing to do, and it was kind of funny because I said maybe they'll let you work more hours or give you a raise if you do this. And so that kind of motivated him to do it. And so then we made a list for future employees to know exactly what they needed to do to get a car done, but also so that we could check everything off.
Okay. That's awesome. Share a time when you were able to directly attribute your problem, proving skills to solve a problem with a difficult customer.
I think I think I've kind of touched on this a little bit, but another example that I could use is when I was a lifeguard, we'd often get moms who would yell at us and get all mad for not protecting their kids the way that they liked. But with just being happy and optimistic in any situation, I was able to calm them down and help them to know that we weren't just teenagers just messing around, that we actually cared about their kids and we wanted to help them and protect them. So.
Well, that's good. For sure. Tell me about a time when you identified a new, unusual, or different approach for addressing your problem or task. How did you come to this solution? What was the outcome?
When I was in shipping, when I came there was kind of just this way of like, this is how you do it, and that's how they've been trained the entire time. Like, you put the package in the box, then you print the label, then you do this. And so they kind of had everybody working individually, but using all the resources around them. When I got there, I thought it'd be better to kind of work as a team, and so I had one of my coworkers just print labels and then put them on the box. One of us would take the box and just package everything up, and then the other would run it to the office real quick. And so with that team of 3, we were able to get more accomplished. We were able to get more orders out during the day, and it was a lot faster. And so that was the example that I thought of.
That's really cool. Well, that's good. Why should we consider you for this position?
I would love to work for your company, as I think it would add to my experience, but I also would love to help your company in new ways that maybe you've thought of, maybe you haven't. I would love to come in and, kind of like the shipping story, see if there's anything I can do to improve it, and along the way hopefully you guys can improve me as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
It's good to meet you too,
Yeah.
Shelby.
Yep, see ya.